All right, so here is for learning target 2B, which is I can use and interpret geometric notation. So this is all about here, I can use and interpret geometric notation. All right, I'm going to do a couple examples of this. So on this first one, here's example 1, and you can find the notes in Canvas as well. Here's an example. We're going to say, mark the following figure. And what I mean by that is, oh here, let me scoot this over so you can see it a bit better. Mark the following figure. So mark it so that it has the appropriate markings given the information that we're about to get, right? So we're gonna say given, okay, so this says angle C. This symbol here is congruent to angle A. So this is saying that angle C and angle A are congruent, right? Or they have equal measure. And we also have that angle B is congruent to angle D. So we know that these two angles have the same measure. We also are given that segment AB is parallel, two lines like this. Think about like two little skis, or like the two L's in the word parallel, right? That means that they go in the same direction. So the segment AB is parallel to segment DC. And I put also that segment BC is congruent to segment AD. So that means that these two segments are the same length. Okay, so that's the information that we have, and we're going to mark the figure to show that. So here, oh, my webcam is funky. Hang with me. Okay, here is our little figure. On the assessment, you'll have the figure, right? I'm just kind of drawing the notes out in the video so that you can see where the notes come from, so you can watch the video hopefully and then have the notes from that. Okay, so here is this four-sided figure A, B, C, D, right? This polygon here. So I want to show that angle C and angle A are congruent. Okay, in order to do that, I am going to mark them with the same markings, okay? So with angles, to show that they're congruent, typically you do a little swoop and you have the same number of swoops, right? So I did one swoop at A and I'm doing one swoop at C. If you want, you can also put a little hashtag, or not hashtag, hash mark, little line through that. That's fine. It's just your own personal like style of notation, but they have to look the same. So A has one swoop, C has one swoop, so I know that A and C are congruent or equal to one another, okay? And I'm gonna highlight this as well with the yellow, just to kind of make it clear that, you know, highlight up here, it's talking about that piece there. All right, so similarly, I have angle B and angle D are congruent, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with those. I'm gonna show that these two are congruent. I'm gonna do two swoops on each of these here. 1, 2. So now I know that angle B, and I know that this is angle B because the vertex here is labeled with the B, right? So angle B and D are congruent. Okay, you can hear my baby in the background a little bit. All right. Similarly, I have a B, right, is parallel to DC. Okay, I'm gonna pause for a moment and I'll be back. Let's see. All right, I'm back. So we had AB, segment AB is parallel to DC. The way that we show things are parallel, Parallel is talking about directionality, right? They're heading off at the same angle. So in order to show AB, so that's this segment here, is parallel to DC, this segment here, I am going to put the same number of arrows, kind of going like this, so you can either have one arrow going in each direction, right? Or if you wanted to put two here, whatever it is, you're gonna do the same amount over here, right? So this has two little arrows going off that way. This has two little arrows going off that way. So I know that those sides are indeed parallel. And I'll kind of do it in this color as well, so you can see that that corresponds to that piece up there. All right. Can you see that on the video? I hope so. I hope so. Okay. And the final piece, I guess I'll use orange for this one. I've got that segment BC is congruent to AD, okay? So BC are the points between these vertices here, right? The vertex B and the vertex C, it's that segment in between. That segment is congruent to this segment, AD. Okay, so to show congruence of segments, I'm going to put a little line through the side here, showing that this side, right, and this side. Notice these aren't arrows, right? Arrows show directionality and imply something is parallel. This is just a marking to show that the length is congruent, okay? And I will make that in orange so that it corresponds. Okay, so I've done it. I've marked the figure with the given information. That's the whole target. That is it. Okay, I'm gonna do one more example, so I'll pause and move my paper and be right back for one final example, and then, yeah, that's 2B. I can use and interpret geometric notation. Okay, be right back. All right, continuing on. So now I'm going to do, here's example 2. This just has a little bit of different notation, right? Just one more extra piece, but I wanted to show a different example. My baby is, I'm holding my baby and she's talking. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna say mark, right? Triangle. This means that, you know, this is the notation for the triangle. S, R, T, to show the following bits of information. Okay, we have that segment ST is congruent to SR, right? We remember that sign congruent. It's a little like enye, or like, you know, the little wave on top of the equivalence or equal sign, okay? So we have ST, segment ST is congruent to SR, and I'm going to say segment SU, and this is a new one, this is what I wanted to show, is perpendicular to RU. So this guy right here, I'll put a little note off to the side. That symbol implies a 90-degree angle. And it looks like one, right? It's a corner. Okay. And also that angle R is congruent to angle T. All right. So we're going to mark this triangle with that information. I'll draw a triangle right over here. Going down like that. This is not precise. Okay, and I'm also gonna draw this down. Okay, and here is R, S, and T. Here, that should look more like a little angle. Okay, and then this, whoop, is U. Okay, so the first piece is that ST, right, is congruent to SR. Those segments are congruent. So if you remember from the last example, we're just going to do a little mark through each side, right? This has one, this has one. You could do two if you like, it doesn't matter, just as long as they're the same. So if that has two and that has two, great. Now we know that RS is congruent to SR. Oh, sorry, ST is congruent to SR. Okay, Now we're going to move on and we're going to show the perpendicular piece that SU is perpendicular to RU. Okay, so SU is this segment here. RU is this segment here. So I am going to draw a little box in the corner showing that that is a 90-degree angle, okay? I guess I can make that a little darker. Okay, and the final piece is that angle R is congruent to angle T. So I am going to do one swoop here, and because I've done one swoop at R, I'm also going to do one swoop at T. Those two are congruent. So now given this figure, triangle RST, and these bits of information, we've marked it appropriately. We've shown that these sides are congruent, these angles are congruent, and this piece is a 90-degree angle, so it's perpendicular. All right, that's it. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for listening to me and my baby. Okay, bye.